I'm sure you'll want to kind of decompress, right? I mean, this card was amazing on its own, but then to be the first one back, I mean, how do you sum up everything that happened tonight and just how you're feeling at the moment?
Yeah, it was an amazing night. I think, Okay. I felt it yesterday too at the weigh-ins and at the fighter meeting. Felt weird, felt different at the fighter meeting yesterday, and these guys came out tonight and performed from the first fight of the night to the main event, and obviously the fans were absolutely insane. It was really. I mean, we had this conversation. I've talked to some of you personally about it, and I've talked to you guys, about it. But there's just a different energy you get when people are here, and tonight was insane.
We've got a lot to talk about in terms of fights, but Chris Weidman, what's the latest with him? Do you have any medical updates on him?
He's stable right now, and he'll have surgery in the morning.
Jimmy Crute as well. I mean, was that one of those weird ones with the nerve, or did he maybe a ligament? Do we know?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a nerve. I think he blew his knee. There's something wrong. And listen, I'm no doctor, but yeah, his knee is not right.
Let's talk about Kamaru Usman. As you said, just an absolutely amazing performance from him tonight. I don't think anybody saw the fight ending that way. Just what are your thoughts on him? And he's saying, hey, I'm pound for pound number one. I mean, are you looking at him as that as well?
Yeah, listen, I think we can all agree. No matter how you feel, the guy's getting booed in there tonight. He's one of the best ever, and he's on his way to probably being the greatest of all time. I mean, the guy is an absolute stud. He looks better every time he comes out. These people talk about him being boring. You're an idiot. You're an idiot if you think this guy's boring. He hasn't been in a boring fight in a while, and he changed after he did that whole "I only gave 30% tonight" thing. He's been a different human being ever since the RDA fight.
No doubt. Colby Covington was in the building. Does that seem like the fight to make now? I mean, obviously the history there.
It's the fight to make. Yeah, he's the number one guy in the world. And, Usman's thing was he didn't want him to be the backup. He's like, I want Masvidal, then I want to camp, and I'll take him again. And, he's like, I'm going to start lapping these guys. But for him to really cement your legacy, when you go in and you beat the guys who are looked at as the best in the world at that time, and you beat them twice, and you beat them convincingly, it's all just part of cementing that legacy that this guy's going to end up having someday.
Can you get your thoughts on Rose? Obviously an incredible win for her, and then emotional scenes. I mean, Joe Rogan's in there crying. I mean, what were your thoughts on just the whole thing?
Tonight was special, man. Tonight was a special night in so many different ways. Monumental for us to be back first. It was a big night, and everybody fought like it was a big night.
Yeah. That division strawweight is so deep with amazing fighters. Do you see a clear-cut number one contender for Rose, or is this one that we're going to have to kind of figure out what makes sense?
Listen, obviously the rematch is, that's a fun fight, and I think a lot of people will be excited about that fight, but, I don't make fights the night of the fight, but I'm just saying off the top of my head, that makes a lot of sense.
Last thing on fights, Valentina. I mean, I think we're running out of superlatives to describe how good she is. I mean, what can you say about Valentina?
It's almost like, tell me if this is how you felt tonight when she was fighting, like she was pissed. Like she was mad that anybody could, because I love this fight because I knew Jessica Andrade was going to show something that she hasn't seen yet, and she was going to be in her face, and she was going to do this, and she was going to do that. And it's like, she was like a fucking demon tonight. Pissed off that anybody believed that was possible, and she looked incredible. It was one of the best performances of her career.
Yeah, it was. And so everybody's saying, look, the only person that could possibly beat her is Amanda Nunes. But I mean, they're in different weight classes. I'm curious. Is that an appealing fight to you, or do you feel like they should have their own kind of legacy?
Yeah, their own legacies. Listen, they fought a couple times. People can think whatever they want. There's always somebody else coming up. There's always a new contender. And it's not Valentina's fault that she's, one of the all-time baddest women on this planet. So making her move up to 135 pounds just doesn't make sense. They did it twice. Yeah. Listen, if they both come to me and they both want to do it and whatever, then I'll make it happen. But it's not something I'm thinking about.
we almost got Daniel Cormier out of retirement tonight to fight Jake Paul. I'm just curious what you thought about that whole spectacle. I mean, the crowd was chanting Jake Paul. They had the little, confrontation there.
Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This kid's done a good job of putting himself in a place to make some money, man, So good for him. He's got you guys talking about him all the time and asking questions about him, and got Daniel Cormier running after him, so he's doing something right, He knocked out an NBA guy that was 40 years old and 30 pounds less than him, and, I don't even know what to think about the Askren thing, man. The whole thing is fucking mind-boggling to me, but hey, good for him. Grab that money while you can, kid.
I was going to say, would you ever do business with him? I mean, it sounds weird, but the numbers are there.
The numbers are there? Nah, I don't know if the numbers are there. Listen, do you know what would happen to this guy? He ain't fighting in the UFC. These guys are... You're getting me talking about this fucking guy again. He's getting hand-picked opponents, and God knows what else is going on with that whole fucking thing. It's all... There is a market for that. That's not what I do. That is not what I do. People want to see that, and people want to see it, and it's great. And this kid's going to make a couple bucks before this ride is over, and it's just not what I do. What I do is what happened tonight. What happened tonight is we sold this place out, and it was packed, and the numbers that you're hearing that they did are full of shit. They're full of shit, okay? They didn't pull those kind of numbers at all, not even fucking close. And tonight, what happened here tonight is what I do. The best versus the best. There is a market for that. People want to see that stuff, and that kid's going to make a couple bucks, and good for him. But that's not what I do.
Last thing for me, Danny, we're going back to the Apex next week, right? I mean, I'm just curious what you can say about the future right now, because I'm wondering if this weekend maybe had some venues call you, some governments call you, that sort of thing, and say, hey, we see what you did there. We'd like a little piece of that too.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're going to Houston. We're going to Vegas, and then we're talking about possibly Arizona, and we'll see what else opens up. But I think that after tonight, give it a week, let all the fallout. There'll probably be some negative shit. Who knows? You know what I mean? I went in on the Review Journal today. I went in on the Review Journal, and let me say this to you guys. I think a lot of us here like Adam Hill and are friends with Adam Hill. And I did not say Adam Hill, right? Because I know that you all have arrogant, smug, fucking editors, pompous-ass editors who write your headlines for you sometimes, and, some of the other bullshit that goes in there. And it just pissed me off that the day of the fight to read that in my own hometown newspaper. Fuck the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Fuck them. Dirty. I thought it was dirty. I thought it was a low blow. And, listen, at the end of the day, people can write whatever they want. So can I. So can I.
Dana.
Yep.
You often say that you're in the business of providing holy shit moments for fans, right?
Right.
Looking at the first fight of the pay-per-view to the main event, would you describe this as a home run in terms of that?
Yeah, listen, I don't think it gets any better than tonight. I mean, you couldn't have a better night than tonight. I mean, I don't know how you guys felt, but tonight the whole night was a holy shit night. I mean, there wasn't like, oh yeah, we had a couple of holy shit moments tonight. The whole night was a holy shit. It was amazing. The crowd was amazing. The fights were amazing, and I think when it went off, Rose was like plus 165. You had underdogs winning, and it was a pretty badass night.
I think we all know how much this event in particular has meant to you. You wanted to be first with fans back in the building. You've always said that we should try and push on during the pandemic. To do it, to pull it off, to have the entire night be a holy shit night. How important is this event to your career, personally?
We've had a lot of milestones and, things like that. I think just the whole getting through COVID, doing it safely, being the first one to come back, and then, doing this tonight with a full indoor crowd. We COVID tested this whole week with the athletes and us. I COVID tested all week, and everybody was good, and we did it again. You know, it's time to get back to normal. You know, and I know a lot of you guys in the media don't feel exactly the way I do about a lot of things, but you can't deny it felt pretty fucking good to be in Florida this week and be normal. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. And when I saw people wear a mask, I didn't say anything to people wear a mask. When people saw people that weren't wearing masks, nobody said anything to people that weren't wearing masks. Everybody's just doing their things. You know what? People seem like they're a lot happier down here in Florida than they are in some of these other fucking states. You know what I mean? Everybody's doing their thing down here and living their life, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So it felt good to be here. It felt good to have, the mayor, the governor, and all these people working with us to put on a safe event and for people to come out and have fun. It was awesome. It literally couldn't have been better. We couldn't have planned this any better or done it any better than we did.
Last thing for me, Nick Diaz was in attendance tonight. Is that just as a guest, or is there something going on there?
Yeah, Nick wants to fight.
Are you willing to give him a fight?
Sure.
Give us a name against who?
I will see how this goes.
Is there any time frame?
He's waiting for me in the back right now. I'm going to go talk to him. So.
Bring him out here if you want.
No, that's
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
I'm sure he wouldn't like that.
Dana,
over here.
Hey,
Over here.
yes, sir.
What do you think is the best pay-per-view that y'all put on? The 217 when you had the 3 belts when Rose first holy shit moment, or tonight? Because they're pretty
Different,
identical.
very different, very different. You know, tonight was a big deal on a lot of different levels. Being back with 100. I said I wouldn't come back without 100% of fans. We did tonight, and like we're talking about, it couldn't have been any better. So tonight's different than any other show we've ever put on.
In your opinion, did that kick solidify Rose as a certified future Hall of Famer and put that stamp, the gold stamp of approval?
Yeah, first female to ever regain her title again. Never been done. And Ali, obviously, I know I do, and I know a lot. You do too. Respect Weili and how incredible she is, and what a tough fighter she is. How hard she works, how hard she trains, and to come out and do what she did tonight was very impressive.